Hi. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hey. Alright.
Yesuful, and my topic is going to be on natural disasters. As a people living in Houston, to say we are blessed is simply underrating. We are more than blessed people because we are rarely hit by destructive natural disasters. Not that we are not hit by natural disasters, but we are rarely hit by destructive natural disasters. Take a look at Japan. The tsunami that hit Japan on the 11th of March 2011 swept everything in its path. According to the New York Times, this disaster resulted in a steep decline in the Japanese stock market by 13% within 4 days. Also, 350,000 people were displaced from their homes, and a total of 29,000 people died in just 1 day. How sad. My topic is to inform and enlighten you, my audience, about how these disasters are being formed and precautionary measures we can take to keep safe during such disasters. Natural disasters are very difficult to predict and impossible to stop. One of the major and commonly known natural disasters I'll be talking about today is the earthquake. According to the Federal Emergency Management Agency, an earthquake is formed when two blocks of earth slip violently against each other. These blocks of earth are referred to as tectonic plates. Now, this is exactly how an earthquake is formed. When two blocks of earth called tectonic plates, they rub against each other, they do not slide smoothly. Now, pressure is built into those blocks of earth and they break open and release massive forms of energy. This energy that is released into the earth is as a result of seismic waves, and when it reaches the earth, this is when we feel the shakiness, the shock, and all the uproar we feel during an earthquake. Now that we know how earthquakes are formed, it is pertinent to know precautionary measures that we must take during an earthquake. According to the Center of Disease Prevention and Control, there are certain standardized precautions we can take during an earthquake. Firstly, if you are indoors, you need to drop to the ground with your hands and your knees on the floor. This is to protect you from being knocked down by the earthquake. Secondly, you need to cover your head and your neck and get under a sturdy piece of furniture like a real strong table. And thirdly, you need to hold on. The quick way of this acronym can be said: you drop, you cover, and you hold on. Again, if you are outside, you need to be in a clear spot. Stay away from buildings. You need to stay away from utilities. You need to stay away from street lights and trees. Anything that you know could fall on you and cause havoc. And again, you need to do the same thing. Drop to the ground and cover your head and your neck with your hands. If you're in a moving vehicle, you need to park safely by the curb of the road, fasten your seatbelts, and wait until the shaking stops. I know these tips are very difficult to achieve amidst panic, but this is your best shot at keeping alive and staying safe. Now let's take a look at the brother to earthquakes, tsunami. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, a tsunami is a series of waves generated most commonly by earthquakes, less commonly by water landslides, infrequently by volcanic eruptions, and rarely by meteorites. Now, this is how a tsunami occurs. When an earthquake occurs in water, it releases massive forms of energy in form of seismic waves, and when these waves gets to the water, it raises the water above sea level. Gravity then tries to pull down this water and it ripples out in an horizontal form. Then your tsunami is formed. Tsunamis are very, very destructive. According to WHO, the tsunami that hit Southeast Asia on the 26th of December 2004 actually displaced 1.2 million people, affected 11 countries, and killed 225,000 people. Though tsunami occurs only in the coastal plain, it is eminent for us to know the precautionary measures so that we can share this knowledge with our friends and families who live around the coastal region. If you are in such regions and a tsunami occurs, if you're by the ocean or you're by the sea and you feel the earth shake vigorously, do not wait for a tsunami warning. You need to move inland as quickly as possible or move to a higher ground. If you see the waves, you are too close to escape. You need to move as quickly as possible. If you are in a boat or in a ship, you need to stay in a position of deep waters. Do not go to the ports because the waves, the tidal waves are very unpredictable and you don't want to get caught in such circumstances. Now, another major natural disaster that affects America is tornadoes. According to the Department of Homeland Security, a tornado is a rotating funnel of cloud that extends from a thunderstorm to the ground with wild winds. In the United States, over 1,200 tornadoes occur every year. Every state in the United States is at risk of some tornadoes at one point in time or the other. The southern states usually have their tornadoes at between March and May, and the northern states after late spring towards the early summer. For a tornado to occur, there must be moist, warm air from low elevation with cool, dry air, and they collide together. Now, when they collide together, the faster air spins around very fast around the slower moving air, and this spin begins to grow in space and in size. Now, more powerful, warm, moist air pulls the spin upwards in a vertical direction and it forms an updraft. Then rain and thunderstorm tries to pull it down, pull the funnel of cloud down, and when it pulls it down, we know a tornado has touched the ground. The most important thing to do when there is a tornado is for you to look for a secure basement or an underground shelter. If you do not have a house that has a secure basement or an underground shelter like the houses in Houston, you need to look for an interior windowless room. Also, if you are driving, you want to move quickly to a place of study shelter as quickly as possible. In conclusion, natural disasters, though difficult to predict, are impossible to stop. But the power of advanced technology and awareness has provided safety measures for us to follow. And I hope in the nearest future, we do more than just preparing for them. I hope we will stop them someday before they stop us. Thank you.
What's the difference between a hurricane and a typhoon?
Okay, basically, hurricanes and typhoons are the same. It's just that different parts of the world term them in different ways. Like in the Caribbean, they call them the hurricanes, while in the Northwest Pacific, they call them typhoons. So it's just different terms used for the same thing.
Okay, thank you.
What do you think will be the most effective way to stop natural disaster?
Well, the most effective way to stop natural disasters, scientists are doing more research on early detection. They try to monitor underground activities, on seismic waves, and all of that. And they're trying to build like global communication alerts so that they're able to tell other countries if a tornado is coming or an earthquake is coming or anything is coming. At this point in time, this is the best shot we have.
What is the difference between a hurricane and a tornado?
Well, both of them are both fueled by rotating winds, but the basic difference between them is like hurricanes are usually formed over warm water, while tornadoes are formed on land. Hurricanes are as large as 4 miles, while tornadoes are about a quarter of a mile. And another major difference is that tornadoes they just occur, they have a short time to occur, within 15 to 30 minutes, while the hurricanes, they take several days, it could even take weeks before an hurricane, it continues for a long time.
Thank you. Good job.